Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wine.com Experiences. I'm Gwendolyn Osborne. We have quite an experience set for you today as we are going to taste and talk about the just released Sun Goddess wines, which are an Italian wine label inspired and created by Mary J. Blige and crafted by renowned winemaker Marco Fantinel. We got a lot of questions from everybody, so thank you so much. We've incorporated a lot of those into our conversation. Although I did get one about my own personal favorite Mary J. Blige song, which obviously hard to have one. Gonna go with Family Affair as the one that brings back the most memories and lets me dance in my kitchen, but Just Fine is one that I throw on when I don't feel just fine, and it's an instant pick-me-up. So that question is out of the way. If you purchase wines to taste along with us, great. Please go ahead and get those open, get them into some glassware. If you don't have them, we are getting more stock in all the time at Wine.com. So please check back. We do have some pre-sale dates, and we promise we're gonna get more coming in. This video, of course, lives on our Wine.com YouTube channel, so you can always come back and taste and listen along again. The two wines that we are tasting in order are the Sun Goddess Ramato Pinot Grigio and the Sun Goddess Sauvignon Blanc, both from Friuli, Italy. And now let us introduce our guests. We have Marco Fantinel from Italy, although I believe he's in Southern Italy right now. And of course, artist, musician, and legend Mary J. Blige. Welcome to you both. There we go.
Hello.
Hi, Marco. How are you?
Oh, buonasera a tutti.
Buonasera. And hello, Mary. Oh, good. Oh, you have to unmute too. Too many buttons on Zoom.
I know.
I know.
Gwendolyn.
Thank you so much, both of you, for being here, taking the time. I know, Marco, it's very late for you. I know, Mary, you're probably very busy with multiple things, so we really appreciate you being here to tell your story about these wonderful wines.
Oh, yeah, no problem at all.
So, excellent. So the first question that comes with a lot of these partnerships would be toward you, Mary, talking about inspiration. You know, what inspired you to create your own wine label?
Just my love for white wine. I've been a lover of white wine, Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blancs, just white wine all my life pretty much as an adult. And I was hanging out, I was on tour with Maxwell, my friend Maxwell, and I was hanging out with Maxwell, and he had some of his friends with him, and some of his friends happened to be Lorenzo and Marco Fantinel. And I was asked that I want to do a white wine, and I didn't hesitate. I said, absolutely, without a blink, because if I love it, I know, the people I'm selling it to are going to love it. So here we are today.
And so, yes. And so you went on a visit there, didn't you? You went to the property to kind of look around and kind of look at what you might want to do.
After the initial meeting with Lorenzo and Marco, I flew to Friuli, Italy, to meet with Marco at his home, at his property, which is the winery. And of course, we went right as soon as we arrived at Marco's house. We went right into the wine tasting. What do I want my wine to taste like? So we were drinking, constantly, tasting. So, that was a beautiful day because we were drunk by the end of that, but I knew what I wanted the wine to taste like.
And Marco, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Marco, what kind of stood out? What made you say, oh, Mary, I want to partner with you. Let's do a wine together. What was that spark?
Yeah, first, it was fantastic because the meeting was amazing. The energy, you cannot do a project like this with an artist unless you have a match in terms of intellectual match, in terms of philosophy, in terms of style, of quality, and lifestyle. And so it was a perfect match with Mary once she came to visit us in Friuli Venezia Giulia.
Yeah.
And I think this was the first important, moment when she came in with her, team of people. And we spent time together in the cellar, in the vineyards, understanding our philosophy on making wines, understanding his art as an artist, and trying to match wine and art and music, and was, I think, a fantastic match.
Yeah. And Mary, maybe how long from that initial meeting when you visited that property to us having the bottle in our hands today, how long was that process?
I think it about maybe 3 years, right, Marco? 3 years.
3 years, yeah,
Yes.
3 years.
Yeah.
Was
And Mary, were you involved in the tasting and the picking and the blending during all of that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We back and forth, they sent the wine back and forth for me to taste it. And of course I had to, approve what I wanted it to be like. And so I was in the midst of the whole thing, the bottling, what the brand bottle looks like, what's the label on the bottle, what's the picture. I mean, I was involved 1,000,000%.
I think we even have a picture of there you are in the vineyards, getting dirty. So speaking of that, Sun Goddess, I love this name. I love this label. I love everything it kind of speaks to and says. And I feel like it matches the wine inside so much. So what was kind of, I guess, the story behind both the name and label?
Well, when I was a little girl, I loved the sun, and I still love the sun. And when I would go away with my sister now as an adult, she can't take the sun like I can take it. So she'll say to me, look, I can't mess with the sun goddess no more. I got to leave. It's too hot. So she named me the sun goddess, and she always calls me the sun goddess. When I said, let's go lay out, she's like, no, sun goddess, is too hot for me. So I just took the name and I ran with it because, this wine is relative, wine changes the mood, just like the sun, it makes people happy. It changes things. So, and the label is just, it's a representation of the sun. It represents the sun goddess. It's a sunshine, burst.
But it also looks like a CD. I love that it looks like a, back for anybody back there who actually used to still listens to CDs, but it looks like a CD. And I love that kind of music sun partnership, I guess, if you will. Beautiful. So let's taste. We're going to start with Pinot Grigio. So this is a Ramato style. So for those of you at home who don't know, Pinot Grigio, the grape is actually tinted kind of reddish purple. And so, like almost every grape, the juice inside is white, but if it hangs out with the skin a little bit, it takes on this lovely kind of pink, almost pale rosé color. So Mary, were you familiar with? I know you loved Pinot Grigio, but were you familiar with the Ramato style?
I was not familiar. I had no idea that Pinot Grigio was a grape. So my whole time in Italy was about learning about different grapes were and what makes a Pinot Grigio and what makes a Sauvignon Blanc. I didn't know Sauvignon Blanc had a grape or was a grape. So this is all really new to me, all this information, and it's nice to find out that Pinot Grigio, the skin color is what makes the rosé. I didn't know Pinot Grigio grape was a red grape because the Pinot Grigio is always white. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a bunch of information that is beautiful to have.
Yeah, it's a wonderful learning. But I want Marco for you to maybe walk through a little bit of the taste of the wine. But Mary, you were talking about kind of being together and trying to relay what kind of style goal you had, like the goal for the style of wine that you wanted to be your label. What was that message?
When we first met, the project was about the Pinot Grigio because Mary was looking to make the best Pinot Grigio in the best area, the best terroir, best climate. And so our common friend, they suggest, if you want something authentic, amazing, you need to go to Friuli Venezia Giulia, which is the best region for the Pinot Grigio. And so we went there, and sorry, my girl is here.
It's like
time. And anyway, she came to the perfect place to make a really amazing wine. And then when we met, was almost close to the harvest, when the Pinot Grigio turns black because it's a red varietal. And we were talking about why a red varietal is making a white wine. Pinot Grigio is known as a white wine. And we said, no, look, because this is made now like this, but in reality, in this region, in Friuli, like 100 years ago, Pinot Grigio was all Ramato, was all, you know, pink or of copper in color. And so we both decided to make it Ramato, authentic, natural. You know, this was the vision, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm always surprised that there aren't more Ramato because I just think it's a beautiful wine. It's so pretty. It brings out so much of what Pinot Grigio is. But that is the right place and the right people to make the best Pinot Grigio. So, well, let's taste the wine. Maybe Marco, you can kind of.
First, let's say that this is coming from our family property. The vineyards are in the village of Spilimbergo. We are in between two rivers, Tagliamento and Meduna. We have a stony soil terroir, and we are very close to the mountains, the Dolomites of Friuli, which are just 6 kilometers away from Friuli. And these are two very important elements of our wine, because as you know, a wine, when is expressing character and personality, must be related to a microclimate and a specific terroir. In this case, we are in a stony soil terroir and close to the mountains, 6 kilometers of the Dolomites. So we have, we are harvesting in 10 days from now, because this season is starting pretty soon. This Ramato we are tasting tonight is from vintage 2019.
Right.
We have we hand harvest the grapes at the end of August or beginning of September. We select only the best grapes, and we do a maceration. So we press the grapes, and we leave in contact the skin of Pinot Grigio. This is a red grape with the juice for 6 to 10 hours in order to extract this beautiful, amazing color.
Yeah, a beautiful color.
Yeah, and after the maceration, we separate from the skin, and we make a slow temperature control fermentation. The wine has a beautiful nose. We have is complex with hints of peach, melon, with some beautiful blackberry and notes and some peach. In the palate, you can feel it right away, the minerality, which is one of, this beautiful minerality that is very present and is making the wine very long. It's super fresh due to the proximity to the mountains of our vineyards, and it's keeping the wine very fresh, very long. And it's really, you can feel and taste the real taste of Pinot Grigio, because in America you are, you know, it's full of brands, of labels, but our way is to make something authentic, something natural, and something that really you close your eyes. Our dream is you close your eyes and you understand where the wine is coming from. And you cannot be wrong with this one. It's Friuli Venezia Giulia, it's Pinot Grigio, and you can feel the minerality, terroir, and the freshness and the acidity due to the fact we are close to the mountains.
And I love the texture. It has like a more of a weight to it than some Pinot Grigios that are super, super light. So it has this lovely texture to it that I love. And Mary, you were happy with the result of your first vintage?
I haven't stopped drinking it since I got my first delivery. It's so good. I love it. And I love Pinot Grigio. So, I mean, this is just, it was so perfect. When I tasted it for the first time, I was like, oh, this is perfect. You know, it's like, like that, you know, and here we are.
Here we are. I know. And it's a more diverse grape than I think people think because of that having that color option. But yeah, this is a beautiful wine. Yeah, I love it. So you also created a Sauvignon Blanc, which also does very well up near the Alps there. So Mary, what kind of Sauvignon Blancs were you used to? What was your style goal in creating a Sauvignon Blanc in Italy?
Well, I really didn't have a style goal. I mean, I would, go to, dinner and order, Sauvignon Blanc, like a white wine. And they'll say, you want Sauvignon Blanc? So it's a nice wine, but it wasn't something that I was super familiar with. Marco, really, this was his,
Yeah.
his inspiration as well. Like he inspired me to do this. And I love Sauvignon Blanc. It just was like, I had no information about it. And so Marco.
Yeah. So yeah, well, I guess, but you went through all that tasting to just kind of find which, I guess, version you enjoyed the most, which is perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's taste this wine as well, the Sauvignon Blanc. So, Marco, Sauvignon Blanc in this area.
Yes, Sauvignon Blanc is in Friuli. Is produced since for 150 years ago. The grapes and vines came from Bordeaux and has been cultivated and reproduced in Friuli for so long time. And they find its own territory, its own style and taste. And Sauvignon to Friuli is very important. Every year they do in Bordeaux the international competition for Sauvignon Blancs. And every second day there is a awarded Sauvignon winning the competition from a region. I think Friuli is the best region for Sauvignon Blanc in Italy, and one of the best three in the world with France and New Zealand. Of course, we have our own style due to the terroir and the microclimate. And I think this is really a beautiful Sauvignon Blanc. The vintage is 2019. It's Friuli DOC, the appellation. All the wines we do in Mary are Friuli DOC, so has a certification and they are high quality. It's a grape we cultivate in the village of Spilimbergo, stony soil terroir, close to the mountains, 5,000 vines per hectare. So the yield is pretty low in order to have a very good concentration of the fruit, both in the nose and in your palate. And when you put your nose, it's really refreshing. And you have the typical character of Sauvignon Blanc, which is a bit, green, but in the same time you get the tropical, the banana, the peach, the apricot, and tomato leaf, cut grass, green pepper. And the palate is really long, intense, with a beautiful acidity. This is a perfect wine to enjoy when you get some sushi, sashimi, or fish, pasta, Italian, Italian pasta, some shrimps salad, or some, roasted fish.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really good example of wine, intense, with long finish in your palate. And if you enjoy the right temperature, is a beautiful wine to match with fish.
Cheers. So cheers. Yes. No, I was going to say, I love that it's the balance for this wine is, like you said, is just really wonderful. It's not too grassy. It's not too tropical. It's just kind of everything integrates so well. And it is refreshing. It does make you either want food or also maybe to sit by a pool would be another option that it's kind of making.
That's me. Pool.
It's like, Mary, what is your favorite pairing? Whether it's food or a boat, perhaps? I don't know.
Exactly. Marco says seafood. I love seafood with both. I mean, seafood goes really good, and lamb goes with either one as well. But mostly seafood and pasta with these whites. Yeah.
Those are beautiful, but they're just so refreshing. I think they're wonderful. I'm glad these were released in the summer. They're just kind of really lovely wines to have, even on their own or with light appetizers in the heat. Your sun goddess, but it does get quite warm, and these are just wonderfully refreshing. And I like that you say lamb too. I just wanted to say, I think I had one pairing once, a Sauvignon Blanc and a steak in Italy, and it was one of the best pairings I've ever had. And I never would have done it before. So that was a good point that can go together very well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you're pleased with this wine, I imagine, also.
I mean, I'm so grateful to have partnered with Marco. I mean, this is like, it's just too perfect. I won't say too perfect. It's just exactly what I wanted it to be.
Mhm.
It's perfect. It's perfect. And the response is, is that, people love it like that.
Yeah. So as we can see, because we're out a lot of places, so we're trying to get more in because it is something that's very, very easy to buy by the case. So, so one other question that we got from a lot of people who are coming in to talk with us, of you, is the connection of music and wine. This is both they're both a form of art, if you will. And is there anything you'd just kind of be inclined to listen to while you drink these wines?
I listen to a lot. I start with jazz. I start light and quiet with jazz. And, as the day progresses, I go to like a lot of R&B. And then I'll progress to, I'll go to a little hip hop later on. But I start off with jazz. That's how you start with this wine.
Yeah.
And you can go into some nice R&B music or pop music, whatever is your preference. And you got to start smooth. You got to start smooth. And then it creeps up into the excitement.
Right. Whether you're on the third bottle, you're dancing, and
by the third bottle, it's probably some hip hop. I think
music's pumping. Yes, I get it. So another question that came in was just, are there any other projects on the horizon, whether or not be for Sun Goddess, for music, for anything else you might be working? I know you work hard all the time, so anything?
So much coming. I've been promoting the Ghost of Power show all week long. The Ghost Power Book 2. That's coming September 6th. It's a series on Stars that, Power. I don't know if you're a Power fan or if you ever watched the show, but it's a big show. And then I have music coming as well in the fall. And then there's 2 movies. There's a movie called Respect that is the story of Aretha Franklin that Jennifer Hudson plays Aretha, and I play Dinah Washington alongside her. And there's another movie coming. There's a lot of stuff coming. There's so much coming. And then, I'm consistently promoting this wine and, doing, this is my baby. This is my newborn baby. So.
Yeah, and they're beautiful babies. And Marco, I know you have a number of wines as well that you have the Fantinel. How old is the winery, your family's winery?
Yeah, we are. I'm the third generation of the family. My grandfather started Mario in the 50s. He was on hospitality business. He was from Venice. He was grown in Venice. Then in the 50s, he moved his family to Udine, the city where I'm living, which is one of the second main city of Friuli Venezia Giulia. And after he started to make successful restaurants, and his dream and his heart and passion was for wine. And his dream was to open his own winery. So with my father and his brothers, he opened a small cellar, a winery in 1960. He started to buy land in the best terroirs of Friuli in Colli Orientali, in the mainland of Friuli. And he started to produce wine for his own, hotels and restaurants in the city. And then we opened up and we started to grow and to supply. Overall, Fantinel is a really good brand for quality venues. We supply best restaurants around the world, best hotels, best wine stores. And we are devoted to quality because our passion, our heritage of my grandfather for quality. And so this is what we do.
Okay. And this
for
is why
15 years.
Why it's a wonderful partnership, because you found someone who wants to make the best quality wine possible, and you found a great partner.
Yes, I'm so blessed and fortunate to have Marco as my partner.
Oh, good. Well, we're excited. I hope that more vintages will be coming out after this one. It's a continue. If it's this good on the first wine, you can only get better, right?
Yes, we can only get better, and we will.
Yeah. But no, it's wonderfully delicious. But well, we're very grateful for both of you to take the time to kind of talk to us and to share the story. And I'm glad y'all found each other. I enjoy the wines, the label, beautiful. And it makes me want to feel like a sun goddess, which I think we all do. So, so thank you. Best of luck to you both. And I can't wait to see that movie, Mary. That sounds phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
An album. So cheers to you both. And
grazie mille. Thank you so much.
Ciao.
Ciao. Buonanotte. I must say buonanotte from Italy because it's almost it's 2:30 here. So.
Oh wow! Good night, Marco.
I know. Thank you so much for just staying up so late. I'm gonna keep drinking the wines, but okay. Ciao.
Well, good night, everyone. Ciao.
Grazie. Thank you so much. Grazie.
It's both a science and a form of high art. It's made from the combination of grapes, sunlight, rain, soil, and time. It's raised up in the moments that matter. It's wine. And we are Wine.com. We have the largest wine selection in the world, online sommeliers with free advice, and now our powerful new app puts the entire world of wine in your hands. Wine.com. Seriously passionate about wine. Download our free app today.